Welcome to the Trending Topics live show. Today I'm honored to have two very special guests here in our little studio in the Talent Garden Vienna. Welcome Davide Dattoli, the founder and CEO of Talent Garden, and Petra Hauser, the new country manager in Austria. Yeah, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Welcome a lot.
So Davide, you founded Talent Garden several years ago, and this year Talent Garden opened up in Vienna. So give us a brief insight. How is business running here in Austria as well as in Europe? You have co-working spaces like all over the place.
Yeah, this year was really crazy because we opened 6 new campuses across different countries in Europe. So we were opening in Madrid a new campuses. That is for us the first one in the Spanish ecosystem. That is very important market to go for South America. We opened 3 new campuses across Italy, and we're working a lot across also the Nordics. And most importantly, we're working to open here in Vienna. We have opened a few months ago, and we reached really good goal. Consider that today we are 80% occupancy of the campus. So the campus is full, it's going well, and in few weeks we launch the first courses because Talent Garden is co-working education events, and this is also our secret sauce. And we will have the first 3 courses that will start in few weeks, and we have many students that will join it. And our idea is to bring also to Austrian market the idea of bootcamp, so 12 weeks full-time courses about user experience, about coding, and about digital marketing and growth hacking. That is something that we've seen is really required by companies to hire, and so we will train around 50 new students on these topics that can come after the course to work directly in the for startups and for big companies who need this profile.
So this year, I think you raised like something like 55 million euros to expand across Europe. So what's your plan? Will you be like in every European country from Great Britain to, of course, Italy?
Yeah, our 5 years plan is to impact in the next 5 years in more than 1 million people across digital ecosystem across Europe. Our idea is that Europe is so fragmented, but there is so many talents that every day when we talk about technology, we think about US or we think about China. But the challenge is why we are not developing the new unicorn also starting from Europe. And so as Talent Garden, we want to really support the development of talents across all the different markets together. And as Talent Garden, we want to be the physical platform that empower the tech talents across Europe. Today we are across 8 different markets. We are planning also to enter in France next year, and we believe that long term we want to be in all the different countries to really select and empower the best tech innovators locally.
Of course, I know that a lot of freelancers are working here, also corporates with their innovation programs. But what do you think in the spaces in Europe? How many startups are in your co-working spaces? Do you have a number?
Yeah, it's more than 3,500 people that live every day inside the different talent gardens. And so are hundreds of startups that are working today, and really different companies. Consider that just a few weeks ago we opened in Milan the first food tech campus. So a campus of Talent Garden only dedicated to company working for food tech industry, together with 7 corporate partners that are some of the biggest worldwide player in the food industry, and try to connect these two worlds. We have a campus dedicated to fintech. We have in all our campuses we're working companies and startups working on the different fields, but at the end the digital part is the center of all of them.
All right. So Petra, you're the new country manager here in Austria, here in Vienna. Welcome from my side.
Thank you.
And I know that you've worked in the media industry
Yes.
A lot of years.
Yes.
Why did you decide to switch to the co-working space industry?
Yeah, well, actually, it's a good question, and it all started in San Francisco, actually. As you know, I'm the ambassador of Singularity University here in Vienna since 2016. And doing so, I then also opened up my own company in the field of corporate innovation. This was 2017. And since then, I spent always like 10 days a year in the Silicon Valley. And what I experienced there, this special spirit, was something I tried to bring in a way also to my little local community here in Vienna. And then I thought there could be a much bigger kind of scale for what I'm doing. And suddenly I got a phone call actually from San Francisco from a guy I met there. He is with Singularity in Italy. He is now with Talent Garden. And he said, Petra, these people are searching for a country manager Austria. Are you interested? And I said, well, not really. But then I came here. This was on the day when Talent Garden Vienna was opened, and I met some of the international team, of the global team. And these people were so nice, and they convinced me to come to Milan, and I spent the entire day there, going through many departments, getting to know all the people from the leadership team, even from the board. And then I said, I have this gut feeling.
So they converted you.
Yeah, in a way. So exactly, yeah. In a way, I had that gut feeling, okay, I belong here. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I'm much older than them. I mean, yeah, my new boss is 29 years old. I'm 53. So I thought, this sounds interesting. This sounds really like diverse. This is exactly what I teach. Yeah. So I thought, why not joining them? Yeah. And I must say, I don't regret a single day, though it's a lot of work. Definitely, the scale up, and the idea is to accompany this company to 2023 until they reach their goal of really reaching 1 million people in the innovation ecosystem. I would like to contribute my part, and by that also giving my experience to a very young team, which is great actually. So I love this team here. I love working with these people every day.
All right. You are here since several months.
September.
Since September, right?
Yes.
Right. And what can we expect from Talent Garden Vienna in the next weeks and months, or maybe in the next years?
Yeah, well, I have a very clear view on what will happen during the next months, and this is to consolidate the situation here. That means that we would like to grow the community even further, and not just by numbers, but also by quality. So what I really experienced is that in so many co-working spaces, you don't have a really vivid community, not a dynamic learning ecosystem as we understand it. And this is something I found with Talent Garden. And this is something I would like to develop here, and we are on the best way. So you already experienced that because you're sitting here with your company. We're having so many events.
It's true.
Since September, we hosted 250 events. That's incredible. We are doing things directly only for our community, but also connecting it with other ecosystems. And this is also something I can bring to the table, like my network, the ecosystems I have, the Singularity community, the media community, and also the business-to-business partners I worked so far with. So all these people I would like to bring to Talent Garden, make them experience this kind of special vibe we have here. And as Davide already said, like our focus is on education. And this is something which is really lacking also here in the Austrian market, to have a totally practically oriented and also European-wide oriented education that really brings out people that are relevant for the working market. And we even connect these two companies that are then embracing these people. And everyone who does a full-time program with us has a practical training guaranteed afterwards, if not a job.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I'm looking forward to see some new AI programmers or whatever there will be coming out of Talent Garden and work for companies. So we will follow up on that. What are there other plans in Austria? Is there a plan to bring Talent Garden to Graz, to Linz, or to another city? Yeah, really? Okay.
So, no, definitely. I mean, my title, and this is how I was hired, is Country Manager Austria, not Country Manager Vienna, though we are all aware that 50% of all startups are in Vienna. So this was the logically first step. And might be also a second step within Vienna. Yeah, I would not exclude that. However, you named it. It is Graz, it is Linz, it is Salzburg. So these are interesting cities in terms of a community of students, of young people, of possible entrepreneurs sitting there, but also having that kind of economical power on the B2B side we would also need. So definitely we would look into these markets, won't we?
Absolutely, and from here probably also is a very good place for the development in CEE region, because obviously we believe that there is a lot of very interesting startups in all the region, and so why not from Vienna try to, I can say, connect all these talents together with Vienna and with the rest of Europe.
Okay, so you can promise you will come to Graz and Linz.
We are working on.
Okay, we are looking forward to this. Give us a brief insight. How big is the co-working space market here in Europe? You talked about you want to reach 1 million people. How big is it in numbers? Is it like $1 billion industry?
It is. Consider that at the moment, the co-working space across Europe are occupying around 0.5% of the total office space market. So that means a very, very small fraction of it. And cities like London are already more than 8%. So the topic is, and all the research are saying that will become more than 30% of the total availability of the space. As Talent Garden, we don't want to grow similar player like WeWork and so on, but try to give an office to everyone. We want to be a very vertical co-working space and a physical platform that empower tech innovators, where we take only the people working for digital and technologies, and we're not providing them only the co-working, but also education events. So really be a physical platform. So for us, it's not about opening hundreds of spaces, but just few in the best cities where we can really find the best talents, aggregate them, train them, support locally, but also at a European level on connecting them across the different ecosystem. Because one of the challenges today is scaling company. And as Talent Garden, we want to be the physical platform that help the companies not only to have a meeting room inside or open this with the same badge the other campuses across Europe, but mostly really help them to find right talents, right opportunities, right connection in other cities.
All right, so when talking about co-working spaces, we have to talk about WeWork. So this company failed to do its IPO. Its valuation dropped from, I think, $47 billion to just $8 billion. The founder and CEO, Adam Neumann, he had to leave. So you're working in this industry. What do you think about that? What was your first reaction when you heard it?
So I think that they create an amazing company, honestly, because probably the press was also too bad with them, but they really create something interesting, and then a company that has growing from 0 to 3 billion turnover in less than 4 years. So it's something crazy. It's one of the companies that grow faster in the history of startups. So I think that they did a lot of things great. On the opposite, they also make a lot of mistakes, and probably some of the biggest mistakes are in the governance part and how the CEO, in particular for the last years, has managed the company. So I think it's part of a company growth also that someone is very good to start the company, someone is very good on scale the company, someone is very good to maintain the company. So probably having a new, I can say, management of a company can help them to grow more. And I think also the fact that SoftBank still put on the table more than 6 billion euro on it doesn't mean that there is a huge business opportunity that we see worldwide, and still SoftBank are the game changer player if we see on the global startups economy.
But $47 billion, was it overvalued? I mean, you know the numbers much better than us.
It was for sure overvalued. And I can say something that comes out of not only for them. If you think about Uber, if you think a lot of startups really, really go down. I think that they were investing in the long-term opportunity that still remain. Obviously, they spend too much, probably short-term, and so now the valuation really decreased. But if you see the example of Facebook, they went down a lot after the IPO, but after they grow and booming. So I'm very curious to see what will happen, I can say, in 1 or 2 years to Uber, and probably also from WeWork. Next year or probably in 2 years, they will try to go public again, maybe with an evaluation that is make more sense. But for sure, the company overall and the market opportunity is great.
Do you regard WeWork as competitors of yours, or do you think will they switch strategy and now focus more on the US market and maybe don't come to Vienna or other European cities?
So no, we don't believe to be competitor of them, because somehow we are doing co-working space for everyone. Their idea is that they want to be the player who give an office to everyone. We don't want to give an office to no one. We believe to create physical platform that empower people and use co-working as a tool to aggregate people, but is only one of the tools that we are using it. So we don't see them as competitor. We think that they will come also to Vienna. They are growing all over Europe. For sure, they will reduce their growth for the next month, but we don't see an opportunity. We are already in many cities together with WeWork. We open in Dublin, where is the most developed outside the London, the city that has more co-working in Europe. Still, we make a huge success because somehow our model is different and we bring different perspective on it. And unfortunately, also on the evaluation side, we were not related and connected to their evaluation. So I'm not particularly worried about our current evaluation and probably next fundraising.
One last question on WeWork. What do you think about Adam Neumann? So he walks away with more than $1 billion. Is that an inspiration for you?
No, it's not an inspiration. Inspiration is about supporting team, is about really help people and companies to grow. On the opposite, for sure, he went out with 3.7 billion, so still is a great achievement on his life, also with all the negative press. But I think what he was able to create was something really incredible. And for sure, there are people that probably are today better than yesterday on managing the company, but what he did was amazing.
All right, Petra, what's your opinion on WeWork? There have also been rumors here since several years that WeWork will come to Vienna. They didn't launch yet. What's your opinion on this?
Yeah, well, I think Davide told it already. I see a mega trend, and this is the gig economy. So in 2025, 70% of all people working will be freelance. So, I mean, in the US, yeah, in the US, it will be a little bit different in Europe, but the trend is there as well. So this is why the market is big enough. We see even here in Vienna that not all the people know about co-working. Yeah, often people that are doing tours with us are astonished about that concept. We wouldn't believe that, yeah, because we are in the bubble. But outside, there are so many opportunities that are still to be worked on. So in case WeWork would come, we would even welcome that, because as Davide told us, we are working already with them in other cities as well. It is more a kind of trailblazer. And if people get accustomed to that style of working, of that new work, so to say, then they are looking for an ecosystem. And this is something we can deliver much more than WeWork, because we have this educational part in our DNA.
All right, so if some of the viewers feel inspired and would like to get into Talent Garden in Vienna, is there still space left?
There is still space left, not that much actually, so hurry, come here, make a tour. You're kindly invited. I do it personally, or somebody of my brilliant team will welcome you.
All right, great. So Davide, Petra, thanks for joining us today. I wish you all the best. I guess we will meet again in the near future. When's the next time when you come to Vienna?
I normally come 1 or twice a month, so I'm more than happy to come back.
Okay. All right, great. So guys, thanks for joining us today, and thanks for watching, and see you next time.
See
Goodbye.
you.